Hello everyone and welcome to VOCES en Vivo episode 3. I'm your host Akriti Kumari and tonight we are diving into a very fantastic theme, Spanish in action, from the classroom to the corporate world. We are joined by two incredible guests who are using their language skills in completely different spheres. We have Ms. Jyoti Gupta, a powerhouse Spanish teacher in Delhi's government school, and Mr. Mahtab Khan, a multilingual financial operations analyst at Accenture. Welcome to the live, Ms. Jyoti and Mr. Mehtab. How are you both doing tonight?
I'm
Yeah, we
good.
are doing
Thank you,
absolutely
Akriti, for
fine.
this wonderful. Thank you, Akriti, for this wonderful introduction. Thank you, Saurav and Akriti, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my experience and journey as a Spanish teacher.
We are very much grateful for you, both of you, to be here and share your insightful discussions and experience with our audience and with us today. So let's just dive right into it. And I want to start by throwing the very first question to both of you. When you first started learning Spanish, you probably had a mental image of what your career would look like. So, what is the biggest difference between the dream of working in a foreign language and the actual day to day reality of it? Any of you can start.
When I started learning a Spanish language, I did not actually even imagine to do it something in this field. Because after 12th, I was planning to do something in the field of medical, but due to few circumstances, I was not able to continue that field. After 12th, then one of my friends suggested me that you can try learning a new language. Then I Googled, I watched few YouTube videos as well. Then I found Spanish relatively approachable and easier for me to learn. So without any second thought, I took admission at Instituto Cervantes Embassy of Spain, which is in Connaught Place. And gradually, I started learning this language and the process of teaching it. So I completed till C1 level in Spanish as a foreign language. Also, I did graduation in English honors from Delhi University. Side by side, along this, I have done certificate and diploma courses from Mata Sundari Women's College, in which I topped in both the programs. And later on, I in 2022 I started working as a Spanish teacher in Delhi government schools, which today known as CM Street schools. CM Street government schools, which is under Rekha Gupta, and this is the initiative or a project I can say which was started in 2022 by KS Upadhyay, Additional Director of Government Schools, who works in DBSC as well. Who found it is a dream project of KS Upadhyay sir to start languages. In my school, there are 4 languages, not even Spanish, but they are learning French, Japanese, and uh, German as well. And they wanted to give a wider exposure to these government students. Not even because they think that these languages are limited only up to private schools. But due to this project, the students get the exposure of these 4 languages in Delhi government school. And because of this project, I personally get the opportunity to work with so many people. For example, Maria Olga Chapado, who is the administration head of Instituto Cervantes, uh, uh, Oscar Puyol, who was earlier director of Instituto Cervantes. Now I'm working with Maria Gilburman, who is today now known as the director of Instituto Cervantes. Also with Gaurav sir, um, we are planning many workshops and visits to the government students. Gaurav sir, who is the head of the JNU department, Spanish department, alongside Elena Garcia Torres, who is the educational advisor of at Embassy of Spain, who visited my school many times to see how's the progress, how the students are working, how the students are learning this language, and how we are approaching this language to these students. Also, I get a privilege to present Spanish class in front of Miss Atishi Marlena, who was earlier a chief minister of Delhi, and Mr. Himanshu Gupta, who was the CBSC head and in charge. So, because of this opportunity to work as a Spanish teacher in Delhi government school, it was earlier I was started it as a hobby, but now it become my dream. It was a hobby, then become my dream, and now it has a reality. I can say that.
Honestly, it definitely shines through. Your brilliance and your perfect knowledge of this subject and this language definitely shines through, and we can all see that. And I'm so happy to be, like, talking to you and having a discussion with you. And now coming to you, Mehta, what was your journey like?
So yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you everyone, especially Saurabh for considering me. And initially, I didn't thought about like to pursue a career in Spanish language because my background was Arabic and Urdu. So my first choice was to get enrolled in Arabic department, but unfortunately, I couldn't get in first. So I have also chosen many languages like Spanish and French as an option. So I was selected in second list for Spanish language. So initially it wasn't my dream, but a day like after pursuing it, and fortunately we got a professor who was from Spain, and she was really amazing. She inspired us a lot, and she helped us a lot. She exposed the all culture like Spain and Latin American countries and their histories, their culture. So she inspired us a lot through our journey. So it helps us a lot to like to dive in their culture, to dive in their history, their literature. So like after a few years, 1 year or 2 years, we managed to learn this language, and we completed our graduation in Spanish and Latin American studies. So I wanted to pursue a master degree as well, and fortunately I got enrolled in DU, but due to some circumstances I couldn't like continue. So I joined corporate world, and in span of 1 years I like worked for three major companies. First one like Concentrates. I worked there as a content reviewer in Amazon project, and later on I joined Teleperformance, which is also a giant in India that provides customer service and support in Mumbai as well. So there I worked for Samsung as well, and then there was some layoff and I had to leave that Teleperformance as well. But in a few months, like I joined Accenture as well in the finance department. So currently I am working in finance department, which is totally different from our background and from our culture as well. Like it, sometimes I encounter some words that are really new, and sometimes I think that it could be its meaning would be different. But I found I now know it's like not like that. Sometimes I think like it is easy to understand, but later on I found these are some phrases or idiom that are being used in financial department. There are some idioms and daily uses words that initially might seem is it will seem like these are easy words that meaning will be visible, but when we dive into financial background, its meaning comes out very different. So currently, yeah, I am doing great, and because of Spanish I managed to like join many meetings and many conference, and as well I talk to my clients, my customer, and get to know what's going on and help them. So Spanish helps me to not only communicate but build relationship and build trust them, and now I'm working and I'm okay with that.
Thank you so much for that journey and for that for sharing your experience with us, because I believe that we are definitely surrounded by a lot of brilliance today, and I do believe that the people who are seeing this video can get inspired, motivated by both of you, and have a lot of fun, and have a lot of knowledge in the end after seeing the video of how to tackle if they want to go and be a teacher in Spanish, and if they want to come into the corporate field. Now, coming back to you again, Mehta, as we talked about your job in financial operations at Accenture, so I wanted to ask, like, how much of your job is actually speaking Spanish versus using Spanish to understand cultural nuances in high stakes transactions?
So yeah, my job is not regarding only Spanish speaking. It's regarding uh, understanding their culture and their tone of language, because we handle all those region of Spanish and Latin American countries, and also Spain and many other countries. So we need to like understand their background as well, because there are some countries who use the form of two. Like there are two form in Spanish that exist, like usted form, like in our language we say like up, and there is two form like we say tum or tu. So we need to understand their backgrounds, and according to their background we need to communicate and use those forms so we can build and easily communicate and understand their feelings. So yeah, so we need to understand their culture, because if we don't know, like it will be informal, because there are many customer who use like formal language, so we need to be formal according to their culture, and there are some customers who use informal language, so we need to use those informal language with them according to their background. So it is very important to understand their culture and their slangs, so it helps us, like understanding their culture helps us to communicate with them very easily, and help them to like give them an excellent customer service as well.
Thank you so much. That actually very much highlights how language is actually the start of the point for global business, and how it can help in a person's development and to like talk to people from all over the world. And now coming to you, Jyoti, and your incredible work in education, introducing a foreign language in Delhi's government school is actually a very massive tool for social mobility. So, what was the most surprising mindset shift that you have seen in your students once they realize that they can actually communicate with the outside world more easily now?
Okay. The biggest change that I have seen is the change in their behavior and confidence. Like initially, what I have told this earlier as well, that the students, Delhi government students, think that it was these languages are limited to the private schools and not for the Delhi government schools. But after introducing these languages, I have seen the shift in their confidence and behavior. The personality develops. I often say in my orientation as well, when I give my orientation, that you can see the personality difference when you start learning a new foreign language. The personality develops. And what this is the major difference what I can see in Delhi government schools, the students do not have that personality behavior, but after learning these language they have the difference. I can see this difference in behavior and their confidence, building their confidence day by day, holding real life conversations in Spanish. The more, like I can give one example. When I arranged the embassy visits for the students. I took students to to these visits at Embassy of Spain. Then in the last visit, the many teachers have praised these students. Like because of their behavior, enthusiasming, how they are holding the real life conversations in Spanish with the natives, not only with the Indians but even with the natives. So this is the difference what I can see. Also, the excitement which I can see in these students. They're always excited when the teacher will come to the class, when the teacher will teach us the Spanish, because this language, teaching this language is completely different from teaching other subjects. They often get bored English, Hindi on repetitive basis. But when children have these language classes, they're very excited. Because my teaching method is very different. I often use games, activities, and holding real life conversation in the classes. So students are always excited to have these classes. So I think this is the major difference which I can see in after learning these languages. Also, I can see that most of the students do not. Most of the students are confused for their career path. After introducing these languages, students get an option that after 12 they can pursue this language and make their career in these languages. Many students who are weak in subjects, or who are unsure for the career, but after giving these orientations, after learning these language, when they get the interest, when they are building interest, when they get confidence that yes, we can do something in this language. I have many students who wanted to do something in this field, who wanted to become teacher, who wanted to be an interpreter. So I think this is the shift which I can see in the students of Delhi government schools, because I do not see this excitement in private schools. I have taken orientation in private schools as well. I have seen the experiences of private schools as well, but that major shift, major excitement, I can see only in Delhi government school, because uh, these students do not get these opportunities of learning these languages. So yeah. This is
Thank you so much, Jyoti. Thank you so much for your wonderful work, honestly. The children are very lucky to have a teacher as you because actually they are the future of India. And if they get the right kind of education and right kind of guidance for the career ahead, then it will definitely make India as a country developed and a growing country. It is very wonderful to see how language opens up entire new world for those kids and give them a different hope, a different kind of hope for their future. Now I want to tackle a topic that is on everybody's minds right now. To both of you, today AI can translate emails, financial documents, and even live speech almost instantly. So why should someone spend years learning Spanish today? Like, what is the human premium that an algorithm still can't replicate?
So yeah, I think AI tools are helpful, but they cannot fully replace the human
Mhm.
communication, because language is not only words; it also include culture, emotion, and context as
Exactly.
well. Because
Mhm.
specifically when it comes to Spanish, because in Spanish there are many forms to communicate. Like in English, there is only one word to call someone like you, but in Spanish there are like almost four words. And also there are like tu usted, and there are some also words like in plural we also use you only. But in Spanish there are many form of saying. So AI cannot like easily replicate these things. And there are some many as I mentioned earlier, like there are some cultural nuances. Then AI is gradually adapting these things, but it cannot like adapt all those things, and it cannot build the connection with the customer. So basically, when I was working in Samsung, so initially the call receiver was AI agent. So those customer were really frustrated, why you are answering our call, connect me to our live agent. And then they were showing their frustration, why AI is assisting our call, why he is answering, why you guys are not just picking ourselves, because we want to communicate with you guys, because you can understand our feeling, what we are going through, and you can be helpful for us, not these AI. So I think AI is it very helpful. It is very helpful for us to use in our daily life, but it is not that much helpful that human are that much helpful. So I think human connection is very helpful to build a connection and partnership and trust as well. So I think AI is important, but not that much important that human can build that.
That's a completely valid point. And what about you, Jyoti? What is your
I
opinion on
agree.
this?
I agree to Mehtab what he has answered to this question, that AI cannot fully replace the human, because for to using the AI we also need the basic knowledge of Spanish, whether the AI is translating, or whether the AI is translating the things, or in, for example, English to Spanish, Spanish to English. For we equally need basic knowledge of Spanish, whether they are translating it correctly or not. So I think AI cannot fully replaces. Also, it do not give us the knowledge of the culture. To get the knowledge of the culture, it is very important to interact with those natives. To go to the Spain, if we go to the Spain, then we get to know what is the culture there, how the people talk there, how they are communicate, how to communicate with those people, what are their slangs and other things as well. And if the people from Spain come to India, they get to know our culture. So I think the culture expects AI is something which cannot fully teach us or tell us. So this is the major difference I can see that in the AI. Yeah.
I completely agree to both of your points because human connection and empathy are two things that actually AI cannot replace still. But yeah, let's see what happens in the future. Now, speaking of that connection, Jyoti, you presented your teaching methodology at the Embassy of Spain. And in an era where
Mm.
students can just use an app to learn vocabulary, how has your role as a teacher evolved? Are you teaching language, or are you also teaching and mixing empathy and cultural survival in that?
I think in today's era, students can easily learn vocabulary and grammar through apps. However, learning language is more than memorizing words. So the real life challenge is understanding the how to use the language in real life communication and social context, which is something apps cannot fully replace. Like I have presented my mythology, in APLA 2025 edition, where I have uh, shared my experience how I can teach grammar through various activities and games. Like first, I explain the grammar to the students, then I make sure that they will use this grammar, because they, what basically teacher do is they explain the grammar, but it is limited to the books. They write it down and then they will not use that grammar. But I make sure that they will use that particular grammar. So I introduce game after explaining those. After explaining the grammar, I introduce games and activities and make sure to use that specific grammar into that activity. So to hold the real life so that they can make the real life communication amongst themselves, which is, I think, more important for them after learning a language, to hold real life communications. I make sure that they will talk in Spanish. Oral conversations are very important. Yeah.
Yeah, completely agreed. And I do believe that is such a great initiative for teaching language, because obviously speaking skills and understanding the culture is a huge, huge part of that. And now coming to your side, Mehtab, on the corporate side, working with international clients across the Hispanosphere, have you ever caught a subtle cultural cue, maybe in an email tone or a negotiation, that a translation tool completely missed, but your human intuition caught?
Yeah, we like in our daily conversation with customer, we like receive some mails that are directly formal, and there are some mails that are indirectly formal. They just start like hola, ¿qué tal? And there are some customer who like write down those heavy words like estimados señores, espero que se encuentren bien. And there are many customers who like I want just they just said those words like I wanted to, without any hi hello or some greeting or like I hope you guys are doing well. They just start. So according to their culture and their tone, we understand what they are trying to convey and what kind of service they are expecting from us. And according to their background, according to their culture, and according to their need, we provide all those available service that we have to offer with them. So it helps us like to understand their culture and their background, and these things I don't think AI can easily replace.
Yeah, thank you so much for that perfect answer. And yeah, it is very true that human premium is still very much needed, and AI still cannot replace it. Now, let's shift the gears a bit and let's have fun with how our cultures blend in everyday life and media. So, to both of you, there's a situation that we would all like to know what you would do in that situation. So, if there's a Bollywood director who wants to adapt a massive Spanish hit like Money Heist or Elite, setting it right here in Delhi, and as a cultural expert, what local Indian twist or flavor would you tell them is absolutely essential to make the adaptation work?
I
You
So
think
take
I
it
think
adding
first.
a culture, I
yeah,
think
Jyoti, go ahead.
adding a culture, food, local language. For example, in food, we can add golgappe, something like that, that can connect viewers deeply to the show. Also, the local language, local slangs. Uh, uh, in Spanish shows, I have seen that they are related more to the rebellion, individuality. But in India, we can see the family connections, foundations. These are the things. These are the elements which they can add to the show to make it super hit. I think so.
And what about you,
Family
Mehtab?
values, morals.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jyoti, because like in Indian movies, in Bollywood, they try to like put all those emotional storytelling and family connection, which are very important in Indian cinema. So I think these things should be included. And apart from that, like about especially about the energy of Delhi, like busy market, local culture, and dramatic moment.
Yeah,
So it would make like more
good food.
relatable for the Indian audience as well. So I think it's necessary for
Yeah.
to connect Indian people in.
Yeah, definitely. I do believe that we Indians love a little bit of drama with our movies and serials. So if it's too serious, we won't like it that much. But yeah,
Like
if
it,
there's some kind
definitely.
of drama action involved, then yeah, we do love that. And now Naya, another fun scenario. If you guys are tasked with taking your Spanish or Latin American colleagues on a one-day tour, to experience the real India, bypassing all the typical tourist traps. So, where is the very first place you take them, and what local street food are you making them try to instantly win them over?
So, if my Spanish colleague visit India for one day, then certainly I would take to him like for Old Delhi, especially about like Jama Masjid, Red Fort, and specifically Chandni Chowk because it shows the real culture of India. So, and specifically it if he comes she comes in like in the month of Holy Ramzan, so there are like market who are open all through like whole night. So for food I would take them to visit specifically near Jama Masjid. So there are many places, many food places, many restaurants that offer very delicious food. So I would make them to try these things, especially biryani and nahari and many other Mughal dishes. So I would make them to try these foods as well.
And what about you, Jyoti?
When I was doing my teacher training workshop at Instituto Cervantes Embassy of Spain, I have the teachers from Salamanca. I remembered that we went to Bangla Sahib, we went to Himayu Tomb, we went to Jama Masjid, everywhere with them because they were very excited to see all the monuments of Delhi. They are very excited for the to taste the food of the India to Delhi. They are loving the Delhi street food. They have tried golgappe, pav bhaji, bel puri, everything. We roam around the streets of the Connaught Place. So I think the people will they are they do not like spicy food much, but I think uh, even though the food is spicy, they are loving it. What I have seen them that because of which they have explored everything. They have eaten everything during the workshop, during the classes as well. We bring food for them, and they every day they tried the food. So I think they love Delhi food. Because even though it is spicy, they loved it. So we went to everywhere with them.
Yeah, that's very
We
true.
explored
I do
everywhere.
believe that. Yeah, very true. Like I do believe that Indians and food, it's something that no other nation has still like cracked maybe because I am right now in Denmark and I still believe I the best thing that I still miss besides family is food. So yeah, that is something that I believe that many foreigners and if they go to India, they would love to have and experience the culture. And now as
They
time is
loved it.
flying by, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to add something. They loved it so much that in the last year I have my workshop last year, and they loved it so much that they came next year last year as well. And especially he messaged me that Jyoti, there are places that we won't be able to explore it, and this time we are going to explore these places. Like, okay, sir, sure.
Damn. Yeah, honestly, people are crazy about Indian food, and it is just not replaceable. It's irreplaceable, and it has a magic that nobody can, I believe, I don't know, extinguish or yeah. So yeah, as the time is flying by, let's move into the final segment of today. Talking to you, Jyoti, looking ahead with a growing push to globalize the Indian workforce from a young age, how do you envision foreign language education changing in government and public schools over the next 5 years?
I think demand of these languages are increasing day by day. Earlier, the people are less aware about these languages, and Spanish is the second most language in the world, where which I later get to know after learning this language. And I think because of this increasing awareness, the demand in corporate sector as well as in teaching sector is increasing day by day. Students are getting awareness. Students are now wanted to do something in this career as well. Like in my school, students went to Germany. They get the scholarship to went to Germany where they are getting for the higher education as well as they are doing internships as well. So I'm hoping best for the Spanish as well. If the Spanish continues in the upcoming years as well, so we will planning to do much more for the Spanish students as well in collaboration with the Embassy of Spain, Instituto Cervantes. So yeah, students will get a wider opportunities and career path with these languages.
I'm into that. That is very helpful and very exciting vision for the future of education in India. And if it does continue, I do believe that the youth will lead to a better India in the future. And now coming to you, Mehtab, what are some untapped or emerging industries in the corporate world where you see a growing need for Spanish-speaking talent?
So there are many like department where Spanish speaker will be needed, specifically with global customer support, finance and our accounting operations, international trade and business, travel, tourism, and there are many industries because like Spanish is one of the most spoken language in this world, and there are 22 countries which have like their official language as Spanish. So as much Spanish market is very big, so the market is big, so the opportunity is big for the person who is learning Spanish, who know how to communicate, who know how to handle. So there are many companies who hire those those Spanish speaking employees to offer these their services to, and they outsources other big giant in this corporate world. So I think the industry is growing, and there are many, like I have heard about that, like many AIs, because people think like AI is taking their job, but there are many AIs company that are hiring those Spanish speaking employees to train their AI. So basically what they do is they create some answer, so and later on they check all those answer whether it is relatable or not, and based upon those answer they submit their final discussion. So they like train those AIs as well. And there are like many industries who are keen to like build their companies in India as well, because there are many students who are learning, and Spanish headcount is increasing day by day. As you can find, there are many institute in, especially in Delhi, they teach English, they teach Spanish, and there are many institutes and many colleges as well. They are offering bachelor and now master and offering PhD. So I think in future there will be a lot of opportunities for those who are learning Spanish, because the market is increasing day by day, and there are a Spanish market is very big. You cannot imagine, and people are keen to hire those who can handle and who can speak Spanish. So I think this industry will need Spanish speaker in future as well.
That is a very fantastic point for anyone listening who is currently mapping out their career path. And sponsored point is we at here at Circulo Castellano are doing the same. We are trying to spread the Spanish language and Spanish Hispanic culture in general with a lot of audience. So do please watch the episodes and follow our channel and see what more we come up with, and share your support with us. And now, before we jump into our last fun segment, I have one final piece of advice to ask to both of you. What is one piece of completely unconventional or highly specific advice you have for someone trying to turn their Spanish skills into a serious career advantage?
I think time is very important. The person has to give a time to this language. I have seen many students in Institute of Cervantes as well. They are they enroll themselves, but they are not giving time to this language. At least 2 to 3 hours is very important every day to this language if you are a keen learner, because taking this language for a hobby, but if you wanted to do something into this field as a career, if you wanted to take it as a career, then it is very important to give time to this language. Take it as a serious. Take it seriously. Yeah.
And what about you, Mehta?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because there are many students who got enrolled in bachelor as well, and they are not still serious in Spanish learnings. They just say like we would learn in all those 3 years, but after getting a bachelor degree, they are unable to speak as well. They are unable to understand what a client is saying. They are unable to translate all those things, because they thought initially, and they were not focusing on those things. So after getting graduation degree, they are unable to crack all those interview as well. So I find like they are not taking it very seriously, and I would like advise all those Spanish speaking like students that do not limit yourself for only like translation or teaching. Try to combine like another skill like business, finance, technology, market, and another skill like computer. So there are many companies who hire those who prefer those Spanish speaking candidates who have finance background, who have tech background, who know how to use all those computer regarding skills. So I would advise them, if you have already learned, then try to add some bullet in your CV as well. It will like you would get preference as well, and you will get a better opportunities in corporate world.
Thank you so much to both of you for your amazing, incredible advice and discussions. It definitely makes total sense that if we don't give a time to learning a language, then the language will not be learned, obviously, and we will not be able to move forward with that. Thank you for the golden nuggets of advice. And now it's time for a very nice Spanish mix. And I have Saurav with me for the rapid fire round. And yeah, hi Saurav, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Can you hear
perfect.
me?
Yeah. Ah, yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Akriti. Now, let's move on to the rapid fire directly. Saltamos directamente al rapid fire. Pues, esta es parte será en español. Creo que estamos listos, ¿no?
Sí,
Sí, claro que sí, estamos listos.
sí, claro.
Genial, muchas gracias. Bueno, y primera pregunta a Jyoti. La regla gramatical que más odian los alumnos tuyos.
Subjuntivo.
¿Tú
Subjuntivo,
contigo?
subjuntivo es la
¿En
regla que
serio?
más odian los estudiantes, sí.
Pues, eso es que pensamos nosotros también en nuestra clase de universidad.
Sí, porque es un
Pues,
poco complicado,
um,
porque es un poco parecido de otras formas de gramática, así que eso haga un poco complicado para los estudiantes. Se confunden mucho con imperativo y
Sí.
subjuntivo y se mezclan.
igual, lo mismo. Pues, ahora, a ti, Meta. La palabra de muda o jerga más usada en los correos corporativos.
En los correos electrónicos se usan frecuentemente estimados señores y por favor, gracias, saludos cordiales, atencionamente y me gustaría informarle, me gustaría agradecerte. Así se usan. Esas son unas palabras que
Ah,
usan frecuentemente.
pues no te aburre.
No, no, no. Ya estoy acostumbrado de todas las palabras que usan diariamente.
Bueno, a ambos, pues, ¿qué acento es más difícil de comprender el lunes por la mañana cuando levantas? ¿El acento chileno o de andaluz? Ya.
Para mí sería el acento de Chile, porque se habla muy rápidamente, es muy difícil para entenderlo fácilmente. Hay que poner toda la atención para entenderlo y también es muy difícil. Si alguien no está acostumbrado de este acento, no va a entender fácilmente, tendría muchos problemas.
Sí.
Así que todas las personas que están aprendiendo español deberían acostumbrar a escuchar los podcasts y la canción de Chile y otras cosas de Chile para acostumbrar. Y eso haría muy fácil para entender, pero eso para los principiantes sería muy difícil entenderlo.
Sí, claro. Para mí también el acento de Chile es muy difícil entender porque se hablan rápidamente y muy fluente. Es difícil entender el acento de Chile, pero para las personas que escuchan cada día es fácil para ellos.
Pues, trabajé con la Embajada de Chile por 3 meses. Pues cada día era un desafío para mí. Bueno, otra. Reggaeton, flamenco o Latin pop. ¿Cuál prefieres?
Yo prefería el
En
latín,
este,
Latin, ok.
sí.
Bueno, Ayoti.
en este momento flamenco, porque he enseñado a flamenco a mis estudiantes.
Ah, genial.
Sí.
Qué buena idea. Me gustaría aprenderlo también. Bueno, ¿tapas o tacos?
Yo
Tacos.
prefiero tacos, tacos, siempre tacos.
Tacos.
Sí,
Tacos.
Sí.
La mayoría.
tacos.
Bueno, ¿cuál es tu frase favorita en español?
Perder la vida o ganarla. Y
Ah,
también
qué
aprender
bueno.
algo nuevo cada día.
Genial, genial. ¿Y metal?
Yo tengo muchos, como hay, hay una frase que me gusta más, es como tirar la casa por la ventana, que significa gastar tanto dinero. En hindi
Ujú.
sería dil khol ke kharcha karna, es algo como algo así. Y también el mal tiempo, buena cara, y poco a poco se llega lejos, y ya hay tantos que uso. Yo también como que
Bueno,
empujar,
lo
no.
recuerdo que la primera frase que has dicho es de la canción Vida de Rico de Camilo. ¿Sí es?
Sí.
Genial. Pues, um, sí, la otra, ahora, si pudieras teletransportar a cualquier ciudad hispanohablante ahora mismo, ¿dónde irías?
Valencia, creo, porque ahí las
Valencia.
personas hacen muchas fiestas, por eso. También cerca
Bueno,
del río.
ujú.
Pues en mi caso sería Córdoba, porque he soñado con ir a Córdoba para vivir la cultura. He escuchado tanto sobre la mezcla de la cultura de los musulmanes, todos los cristianos, de los judíos, y también hay los arquitectos que fueron construidos por los moros, como la mezquita catedral, y hay otros monumentos históricos que atraen mucha gente todo el año. Así que en el futuro, si yo tendría oportunidad para viajar a España, yo voy a visitar la región de Andalucía, especialmente la Córdoba.
Sí, por supuesto, Andalucía por el flamenco, pero
Sí,
Córdoba lejana y sola. Bueno,
claro, sí.
ah, la última. Ok. Si tuvieran que intercambiar trabajos un día, solamente por un día, pues me está enseñando a casi 40 adolescentes llenos de energía y Jyoti gestionando una operación financiera compleja en ascensor. ¿Cuál sería su mayor desafío personal?
Para mí sería como mantener la calma mientras enseñando a los adolescentes, especialmente cuando hay más de 40 personas en la clase. Sabe que hoy en día los estudiantes no se escuchan fácilmente, y también no quieren que alguien tiene todo el poder absoluto a ellos, que quiere controlar a ellos. Así que sería muy difícil para como establecer la relación con los estudiantes, para mantener, para, para que escuchen. Así que eso sería un poco muy difícil para mantenerlo.
¿Qué?
Para mí, y para mí sentar enfrente del ordenador por 8 horas no es mi trabajo, es un desafío para mí. Tengo que hablar, no puedo responder a los correos sentando simplemente enfrente del ordenador, no es mi trabajo, sí, es un desafío para mí.
Ok. Pero creo que un desafío común sería buscar tiempo para descansar después del trabajo.
Sí, sí.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias a vosotros y hacerse esta sesión muy interesante. Y ahora I'll just hand over to Akriti. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much,
That's
Saurabh.
all right.
Now that's a wrap. And thank you so much, Jyoti and Mehta, for joining us here today and for sharing your incredible insights and expertise tonight. And a huge thank you to everyone watching and supporting the community. Make sure you're following Circulo Castellano for more updates and future episodes. And yeah, that's it. See you next time. Buenas noches a todos.
Buenas noches a todos. A los que están
Buenas
escuchando.
noches.
Y
noches. Buenas
gracias.
noches. Thank you, Akriti and Saurabh, for this interesting session. Gracias, Akriti y Saurabh, por esta sesión tan buena. Muchas gracias. Y
Yeah,
buenas
thank you,
Thank you
tardes.
Aditi.
so much to
Thank you,
all.
Saurabh, and best of luck for your future. I hope you
Thank you,
guys get
guys.
Thank you
whatever
so
you
much.
guys
Yeah.
dream of.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Adios.